Hey Dave, cleverly done with the Courage the Cowardly Dog intro when Brendan, as Eustace, goes, yeah. Comparison feels really foundational to me because I've done a handful of things in my life that have been long term, like journaling, video recording, etc. A big recent one is my involvement with New York FCCLA. At the beginning of this past week for 3 days, I enjoyed attending my 12th summer leadership meeting in SUNY Oneonta. Of course, it's really easy for me to compare this experience to previous ones, since I've been in FCCLA for so long. It's familiar and unfamiliar to me. Every time there are new advisors and adults learning about family and consumer sciences education, there are middle schoolers and high schoolers that are getting to know FCCLA through workshops and discussions, and there are familiar faces I've seen since I've attended my first. As an alumnus for New York FCCLA, there are a lot of reminders of being a has-been member, state officer, trainer, etc., but only focusing on that doesn't help me in my ability to contribute. Defining myself as a contribution and showing up always creates opportunities for me to add value in a lot of ways. Hosting one of the scavenger hunt stations, of which I did, taking pictures and footage, being the buzzer with an air horn and setting up movie trivia night, assisting in workshops and prompting students for questions, listening well and facilitating conversation. I really love your point on taking experiences in their own merit. Comparison is really easy. A fun idea is that comparison is like an easily reached itch that we want to scratch. Enjoying an experience in itself, little to no expectation or comparison, is like living with a desperate itch that we choose to ignore and not give power to it. It's really skillfully wielding enough comparison in useful ways. I suppose sometimes people let expectation and things up here in the attic cloud their ability to engage and create well. If I begin experiences with an open mind and quality metrics to compare with, I can be more happy, engaged, and productive in an experience rather than disappointed. Thinking a new experience can't possibly measure up to the scarce, awesome ones I've had before it. I'm landing in a place where I think comparison is most constructive when I learn from it and when it's fuel to help me reach certain individual and collective accomplishments and changes that are sought to make. All else I don't focus on that's useful is just noise to me. Just because it's seen or abundant or scarce doesn't mean that it's a valuable metric to use. As usual, comparison is inevitable. I really think though that we still have the power to choose what we use as a metric to compare. It especially helps doing that when I'm on a path that's the same as others and we're all trying to make a similar change. I definitely feel that with the us that is New York FCCLA. FCCLA's central focus is family, and I don't think it needs an other or them to thrive well in that. Looking back on FCCLA footage and pictures and thinking about this past one, I can see how the experiences are not equivalent, but deeply are so. I think if we launch, solidify, and compare the deep metrics right, all will land well. If I get the model or the context or the lens right, I'll be remarkably proud. And I already am in many ways. Being proud matters to me. I'll keep at healthy comparison, and you have a great day, Dave. See you Thursday.